Colts are legit. I think they're legit offense every week, and they'll bounce back. That's part of my mentality is good football teams don't lose 2 weeks in a row. They go back and correct their errors on a Monday, walk through whatever it is, and look forward to the next week. And there's extra motivation. Like you talk about the Minnesota-Seattle game. When there's extra motivation, guys are prepared. And Sam Darnold's going to go into that game prepared, ready to light it up. And I think that's what happens when good football teams lose a game. They come back the next week prepared to take it to them.
It is Thanksgiving, which means we gather the family together to watch football. Triple header Thursday, Black Friday, and if week 13 is anything like last Sunday, we are in for a treat. This is Flutie versus Stegall, your weekly NFL picks and analysis show. As always, we are powered by BODOG. That is Doug Flutie. This is Milt Stegall. I'm your host, Arash Madani. Please like and subscribe. You can find us on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. And if you are watching on YouTube, Doug Flutie has gone from chalkboard to whiteboard. He has diagrammed another play for us. And with Chip Kelly being fired in Las Vegas, I wonder if Doug is auditioning. Is Pete Carroll coming into the call? Doug, audition your favorite play there. What do we got?
Not at all. I've seen those jobs. I don't want them. I'm watching the Raiders the other day getting sacked and holding the football 20 times, just holding the ball for 5 seconds, taking sacks all day. I go back to the days of Rich Gannon with the Raiders. So the play was always in the red zone, sluggo C. You got a weak side X receiver and Jerry Rice running his slant and go. He's going to crush a guy one-on-one. You're looking for middle of field safety here.
Right.
You get the one-on-one, you pump fake, and he's crushing him on the slant and go. If the safety shows up in your vision, you got Tim Brown over here running a little wiggle and a seam up the backside, and he's a cakewalk. That 50 starts drifting, bang, you nail that. If you get the zone and they drop off, everything's taken away. You got the tight end over the ball, and you're sitting out on the outside, working his little smash route coming underneath. Play that Rich Gannon ran to death and threw 5 to 10 touchdown passes a season with. And the Raiders could use a little quick, really get rid of the ball type of offense.
Man, Rich Gannon, Jerry Rice, Tim Brown. You think, maybe if Chip Kelly had that, it'd be a different story over there with the Raiders.
He wouldn't know what to do with that.
Gino's got to get rid of the football. I'm sorry. Yeah. I know there's a lot of sacks. He's got to get rid of the football. He holds it way too long.
Fellas, happy Thanksgiving. It's great to have everybody together for Flutie versus Stegall. But before we get into the picks, Doug, you have a Thanksgiving tradition that you've stuck to since high school?
Oh, back in high school, we always had our high school Thanksgiving Day games in Massachusetts, which was a big deal. My class of 81 guys, we always got together and played a touch game. Class of 81. Yeah, you weren't even born.
Man.
We always got together, played a touch football game, whatever. When we got old and crippled and couldn't do it anymore, we just go down and throw the ball around. I live in Florida now. And a group of guys get together every Thanksgiving morning. So I waltz on down, throw the ball around a little bit. They play a real game. I throw a few passes and get the heck out.
How about you, Milt?
Thanksgiving tradition.
Well, my Thanksgiving tradition is I'm going to eat unhealthy. Thanksgiving and Christmas is when I let my hair down and I say what's ever being served, I'm going to indulge. I may gain 2 or 3 pounds. I'll go run it off the next day. But this holiday season is when I say, okay, I'm going to cut loose. I'm going to have some dessert, going to have some unhealthy food. And this is the only time of year where I actually do that.
Doug, I've known Milt for almost 20 years. I did not know until today that dessert was in his vocabulary.
Wow. He's lean. He looks like he could still go out there and run some routes, catch the ball, and help some teams out. So I believe it. Milt.
We are thankful to all of you for making Flutie versus Stegall one of North America's fastest growing podcasts. If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome. Every week, the fellas drop their picks, and overall, they just continue to dominate against the spread. We also talk about NFL storylines, and the guys share their own locker room stories. Mr. Flutie, You ran the table last week, going 3-0. Milton, you went 2-1, which means Stegall 22-11 on the season. Flutie 20-13. We have ourselves a dog fight as we approach the month of December, guys.
Yeah, but I'm old. I'll get injured towards the end of the season.
Well, I'm just hoping I don't pull a hamstring. I'm just hoping I don't pull a hamstring.
Just keep it rolling. I used the dartboard theory last week. I just threw over my shoulder and get. It's amazing, Milt. I was looking, watching your games and mine as well.
Yep.
You were within a half a point.
That Kansas City game. It's crazy.
Of going 3-0, but also you were within 4 points of going 0-3.
Yep.
That's how close these games are. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's crazy.
It's amazing how these odds makers do it. So let's get into this week's picks from Stegall and Flutie, powered by BODOG. Milt, let's start in the Pacific Northwest. I'm depressed. My Vikings are hopeless. Seattle opened 9.5-point favorites. Who knows what the line gets to with Max Brosmer, the undrafted rookie, getting the start for Minnesota. And you're saying Sam Darnold in Seattle, he's got something cooking for Kevin O'Connell.
Oh, Sam Darnold's going to try to go in there and throw for 11,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and beat him by 50 points. And I know that's not his mentality. That's not part of his narrative. But I'm sure he wants to show him that you had a great opportunity to have me there. I mean, I know I didn't play well in the playoffs, but I did win 14 games for you last year, and you decided to go with the young guy. I understand that, but I'm going to show you you made a mistake. Even if J.J. McCarthy was playing, which he hadn't played well, it wouldn't matter. They're going to beat him by double digits. Sam Darnold is going to destroy the Minnesota Vikings. You talk about your guy, what's his name, Max or Brosmer? Yeah, I mean, this is a rookie free agent. He's never really stepped on the field, and this is a guy you're going to have that's going to try to beat Sam Darnold and Seattle Seahawks. It's not going to be close. That game will probably be over after the first half.
It's interesting because it was about a year ago at this time that Darnold went into Seattle in miserable weather as a Viking and knocked off the Seahawks. And I think what a lot of people have forgotten is on the practice roster for the second half of last season, Daniel Jones was also in Minnesota. So the Vikes unload both of those quarterbacks. And Doug, here's Daniel Jones. He's in Indianapolis, as we all know. And you like the Colts to bounce back over the Texans this week. Indy's favored by 4.5. And this almost feels like one of those games the Colts have to have because you don't want to kind of start to spiral here after losing to KC.
Yeah, I thought last week they got away from running the football and using Jonathan Taylor the way they've been using them. It just didn't progress that way. But the Colts are legit. I think they're legit offense every week, and they'll bounce back. That's part of my mentality is good football teams don't lose 2 weeks in a row. They go back and correct their errors on a Monday, walk through whatever it is, and look forward to the next week. And there's extra motivation, like you talk about the Minnesota-Seattle game. When there's extra motivation, guys are prepared. And Sam Darnold's going to go into that game prepared, ready to light it up. And I think that's what happens when good football teams lose again. They come back the next week prepared to take it to them.
One quick point, Arash. I actually thought about taking the Texans for this game. I was on the verge because of that defense. And David Mills has just been playing solid. He hadn't been winning the game, but he hadn't been losing the game. And when you have a defense like the Texans have, they can beat anyone. I almost thought about taking the Texans with the upset, but I pulled back.
Well, Milt, it's interesting you make that point because the more you watch the second half of that Indy KC game, I got to tell you, it felt like Shane Steichen and Daniel Jones were playing not to lose rather than keeping their foot on the gas. And that's something, look, you can't do against anyone, but especially you can't do it on the road in Kansas City, guys.
It really felt that way. It felt like they were holding on for dear life and not. They let Kansas City. Kansas City ended up just kicking some field goals in the first half. So you're fortunate to have this lead. You got to put your foot on the gas and be aggressive. You can't sit on a ball and try to hold on to win a game. And that's what it felt like for the Colts. It felt like Indianapolis was trying to play careful, afraid to take some risk as they got to the fourth quarter. And all you got to do is give any kind of hope to Mahomes. And he willed them down the field a couple of times.
Yep.
So KC's back in the mix. The AFC West is obviously still up for grabs. Let's go to a divisional battle there. The Chargers and the Raiders. We talked about Chip Kelly being out as the offensive coordinator. Both of these teams' offensive lines are in tatters. Doug, I know you watched that Raiders game. You said to yourself, these guys probably won't win another football game, which is probably why you like the Chargers to cover 9.5 this week.
But that's Milt's pick, right?
That's me. That's my pick.
Milt's pick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's my pick. Yeah, I mean, you just talk about Chip Kelly being fired, and I never want to see anyone get fired. But I've always thought Chip Kelly wasn't a great. His offensive scheme just didn't work in the NFL. Great for college, but didn't work in the NFL. This is the third year in a row the Raiders have fired their offensive coordinator in season. Third year in a row. That's on the management. And this team is just. I talk about the Bengals were in disarray. They're getting their stuff together. This Raiders team is just in disarray. They're fired their special teams coordinator. Now they're fired their offensive coordinator. The defense is okay, but the offense, Geno Smith can't get it done. So the Chargers will easily handle this one. The Raiders, they need to get rid of Pete Carroll and make other changes. I don't know. But right now, I don't think they'll win another game the rest of the season. I don't think they'll actually keep any games close.
See, Milt's making me want to change all my picks and just jump on the Milt Stegall bandwagon. He's making his case.
Well, you talk about coaches, teams making changes with their coaches. How about the New York Giants? Brian Daboll sent out a couple of weeks ago, and now Shane Bowen, the defensive coordinator in New York, is out, and you kind of understand why. Their latest meltdown, guys, the Giants have now blown 5 double-digit leads this season. The Patriots host them Monday night. The line's 7.5. And Doug, you're going with New England, where it doesn't really seem to matter what kind of lead the Giants have in a football game this year.
Yeah, I just think the Patriots playing really good football, right now. And even they won the other day with squandering points as well, and still won handily or comfortably. The Giants are in disarray. It's a game that, and I mentioned before, if I wait till Monday night, I still feel like I have hope. So I wanted to pick the Monday night game, and I love the job Mike Vrabel has done with this New England Patriots team. I think the stat came out last week. Drake May still hasn't had a 300-yard passing day because they're so well balanced. They're playing good defense. They work the clock so the game shortens a little, and all these things. It's no one aspect of that team that is just the standout reason they're winning. It's the entire package, and they're playing great football.
It wasn't long ago the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were doing the same. They were the toast of town. We were talking about Baker Mayfield as a potential MVP candidate. They opened the season 6-2. All of a sudden, life comes at you fast. The Bucs have lost 3 straight. Baker's hurt. His non-throwing shoulder, he was a mess towards the end of that first half and early second before they shut him down and went with Teddy Bridgewater. Milt, you like Arizona not to just cover as a 3-point dog, but to outright win, paying plus 135 money line on BODOG.
Yeah. I think they'll pull this one out. I mean, it'll be the battle of the backups. And Doug, I mean, you can tell me this. I don't think Baker Mayfield will be stepping on the field with that AC injury. And I know it's on his non-throwing shoulder, but the way he looked at the end of the game, and I mean, when he tried to come back in or whatever, I don't think he'll step on the field. So it'll be Teddy Bridgewater. And Teddy Bridgewater hadn't started a game since 2022 when he was with the Miami Dolphins. So I don't think he'll be able to get it done. And Jacoby Brissett has actually played some pretty good football. Their team hadn't won, but he's averaging over 300 yards a game. He just broke NFL record for most completions in the game with 47. But the fact that his team is losing, no one is talking about that. So with this being a battle of the backups, and actually Brissett has been playing some pretty good football and actually played, I'm definitely going to go with the Arizona Cardinals, not only to cover, but to win this game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, win when you can, man. You never know when things can go sideways. We'll see what happens with Bridgewater at the controls. Let's wrap with this one. Massive game in Pittsburgh in the 425 window on Sunday. It's almost like this is a what do we make of both of these teams kind of game. Buffalo, 3.5-point favorites against the Steelers. You have to wonder what the Pittsburgh offense would look like if George Pickens was still there. And Doug, even though the Bills seem scattered on offense right now, you still like Buffalo here.
Yeah.
By 3.5.
There's a couple of issues I defensively for them, and they're really spotty offensively, leaning on Josh and all that. Again, I don't believe they lose 2 in a row here. I think they right the ship and turn it around. 3.5 scares me at Pittsburgh. It does scare me. I still think Buffalo finds a way to win this game. I'm not convinced that Pittsburgh is as good as their record right now, but I just feel like I'd feel a lot more comfortable if they were playing in Buffalo. Let me put it that way. But I just feel this is a game that they bounce right back at it and find a way to move the ball, score some points, and walk away with a decisive win, not just the 3.5.
Doug, someone's trying to give you something behind you. It's Buffalo Bill. They're trying to give you that check they promised you for you getting back on the Buffalo Bill bandwagon.
Yeah, see, I tape my ankles for jumping on and off the bandwagon. They're solid as a rock right now.
Flutie, I'm looking at the route behind you, and I'm wondering what receivers does Josh Allen have to execute this play?
Well, we have a substitute defensive back to run the seam route. He can come over and run the route. We got a good running back that can jump out there and run the slant and go. And
James Cook.
Who's their backup quarterback? Maybe we get a backup quarterback out there to run the smash route.
Oh, my goodness.
We don't need Mitch Trubisky anywhere near.
No.
Mitch can go out there and run the little smash and sit. What? Jameis Winston caught a touchdown pass this week. Come on.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Let's wrap the picks. Doug likes Indy, New England, and Buffalo, an AFC guy through and through. Milt's taking the Seahawks, the Chargers, both of them big favorites, and Arizona outright as a 3-point dog. Flutie versus Stegall, the picks, powered by BODOG. So, in 1/4 quarter in OT, the Reed, Mahomes, Kelsey, Jones era stays alive.
Yep.
It stays alive, guys, with 14 unanswered, over 3 scores in the 4th quarter in OT. They included a 2-point convert in the mix, too. And in vintage KC fashion, they just get by the Colts last week. Now, the implications of it. I went into the next-gen stats. This is how the advanced numbers look, give or take. KC would have had a 33% chance of making the playoffs if they lost at home last Sunday to Indy. Instead, now it's around 65% or so as they improve to 6-5. It's amazing how quickly it can all change for you.
Yeah,
I mean,
go ahead. Go ahead, Doug. Go ahead.
You know, being in the positive win column there and looking at your schedule down the road. And again, I believe in Patrick Mahomes. I believe that will find ways to win these close games. You win 3 more games, you're probably in the playoffs. You win 4 more games, you're definitely in the playoffs. So, you know, it's a huge difference. It going from a 5-6 to a 6-5 is just a big swing, putting you in that column where you can eye even your conference and getting back to the playoffs. And once they're in, it's on. You know, once they get into the tournament, it's on because they've been there before, they've been there, done that, and they're comfortable.
If I'm every other team, excuse me, in the AFC, I'm coming together. I'm getting on a group chat and saying we cannot let these Kansas City Chiefs get in the playoffs. As you mentioned, Doug, if they get in the playoffs, they are the favorites. They know how to get it done. They know when it's time to that playoff time, that playoff football, they know how to play it. They've been doing it better than anyone else over the last 5 or 6 years. So I do not want to see them in the playoffs if I'm an opposing AFC team. And the fact that they won that game, I think they have a great opportunity. If they lose that game, I know, Arash, you say, 33% is 0%. They're not making the playoffs. But now they won that game. They kept hope alive. They won a couple of more in a row, and this team is rolling. And as I mentioned, I do not want to see them in the playoffs if I'm another opposing AFC team.
And here's the other thing about KC, guys. Doug, I'll get to you in just one sec. I want to go through their schedule after going to Dallas on Thanksgiving. They're home to the Texans, home to the Chargers. They get the Titans, the Raiders. There's a Broncos in there too. Those are 4 winnable games, among the 5 after Thanksgiving coming up, Doug.
Exactly. Yeah, you look down the road at their schedule and they've got a real shot. Indy with the winning record, it looked like they could get beat by Indianapolis and they're in deep trouble. They got past their tough game. Well, they're all tough in the NFL. That's not joking. They're all tough. So they get past that. Now there's a light at the end. Now they're looking at the schedule and say, wait a minute, there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. Right? The point I was going to bring up was Mahomes limping around pretty good. I didn't think he was moving well. I don't know what his injury is or what he's got going on, but that for him is a big part of it because he makes a lot of his big plays movement-wise, drifting away, doing things to buy time, and then throwing on the move and being athletic. So if he's nicked up, especially lower body injury, that's a factor.
Okay, so we have spent the last 3 months talking about KC and Buffalo.
I've been hanging out with you guys for 3 months.
I know. It's been great. We found out, Milt, that Doug has a soft spot for the Jaguars. So we've talked about Jacksonville. We've talked.
He's living in Florida now. He's a Florida guy, so that's
right. We talked about the Broncos and the Chargers. We've been blown away by the Colts. We've dissected the Steelers, and of course, we talked New England. We've talked a lot about 8 teams in the AFC. Now look at this. The division leaders in the AFC North, all of a sudden, Baltimore, the Ravens have won 5 straight. They're 6-5, and their upcoming schedule, Cincy, Pittsburgh, the Bengals again as the next 3 on the schedule. Lamar looks healthy, guys. What are we making of these Ravens?
Lamar doesn't look healthy. Lamar looks horrible. They've been able to win 5 in a row. It was the Bears, who I don't think they would come close to beating now. That was the first game. And then who was it? The Dolphins, the Vikings, the Browns, and the Jets, who have a 13-31 record. Lamar does not look good. That defense has produced. I think they've held teams to an average of 13, 14 points a game, but Lamar has not looked well. In that first game, he came back, he threw for just over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. But since then, he hadn't thrown for 200 yards, and he's only thrown for 1 touchdown. He hadn't run the ball. It's 71 yards in 4 games. That's 17, 18 yards a game. And part of his game is running the ball. He's had 17 yards on 1 drive before. He does not look well at all. And hamstring is still bothering him. He won't admit it, but Lamar Jackson is not playing well enough right now where that team could beat anyone in the playoffs. No one.
I agree with you as far as he's not throwing the ball the way I never thought Lamar Jackson was a great pocket passer from day one. It was his athleticism that allowed him to make the plays, and he could get the ball out and make some plays. He's not physically throwing the ball great. And I don't know what that, it may be a factor of the hamstring. As Milt said, the running, he was a highlight reel guy running with the football for a number of years. So that is the missing aspect right now. But again, we talked about this a few weeks back. They got Cincy, Cleveland. That division, you got the old man quarterbacks. And I think we kind of predicted this run happening for them because of the games in that division. So they're still in a really good position, but they're not lighting it up on offense.
Guys, I just had to check the fine print on the contract that we all signed. It reads that we cannot go an entire week with a rookie quarterback starting without bringing up Shedeur Sanders. It's written right there. What? It's written right there. What? I just go Shedeur go. Shedeur go. Who wants to take it first?
I'll take it.
Go ahead, Doug. Go ahead.
Blitz his butt, get after him, and he didn't know what he was doing. Well, I know he got a week of practice this week. He ran away from the blitz on one of them and made a huge play downfield. He will make 3 or 4 splash plays, big plays that can help you win a football game. There's no doubt. He looked very comfortable as far as the stage, right? He's got confidence. He's going to make some plays and all that. It should lend itself to him actually turning the ball over if you pressure him. But I'll give him credit for not. I mean, he had one pick, but he didn't turn the ball over. He kept him in the game, and then he made a couple of big plays. Actually, the touchdown pass is a wide receiver screen, and the guy breaks it and goes. So he's got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Because of his athleticism and his arm and his confidence, he's going to make 3 or 4 plays that are outstanding. He will.
And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, he was playing against the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't care if he was playing against the Las Vegas, refrigerators, rollerbladers, Raisinets. I mean, the fact that he stepped in his first game and he won, and it hadn't happened for a Cleveland Brown quarterback since 1995, that says a lot. And I know a lot of it had to do with that defense and Myles Garrett and the things he's doing in that defense, but he stood in there with a lot of confidence. He may be too overconfident sometimes, but I don't mind that. But he stood in there and made some plays when he had to, threw his first touchdown, and, you know, the Browns got a victory. So that bodes well for this team. Is he their quarterback of the future? I don't know that, but let's just take it one game at a time. He's playing the hardest position in team sports, and he got his first victory in his first opportunity. So let's just take it one game at a time and see how it goes.
And he gave his teammates something to get excited.
Right.
They believe something good can happen now. And that is a big part of this equation. Just believing that you can go out on the field and win.
The players in San Francisco insist they believe in Brock Purdy. That was ugly Monday night, especially in the first half against Carolina. And I went back, guys, starting Christmas night 2023, so just shy of 2 years. Purdy now has 23 picks in 21 regular season games. The decision-making seems to be the issue more than the actual execution itself. Doug, we were texting during the game. Like it was baffling seeing some of the stuff Brock was doing on Monday night.
I love San Francisco's offense, the things they do offensively. People get open, and all he's got to do is distribute the football. And when they have a shot up the field or a read that's upfield, it feels to me like he doesn't get off the upfield receiver. Well, like I see a window, I'm going to put this ball in there. I'm waiting for it to happen. And he didn't, I don't know if the toe thing is still bothering him and he didn't zing it down there, but the balls were floating down. The downfield throws were floating downfield. When you come off a downfield receiver, you don't have the chance to say, is he open? You don't have that chance. What takes away that route is the way the linebacker dropped, the way the safety came into position on that side of the field. Something takes you off it. You have to learn to just eliminate a receiver and go move on through a progression. And to me, it seems like he looks at a guy to see if he's open and hangs on him a little too long down the field.
Without McCaffrey, that offense is nothing. He saves that offense in every way possible. So Purdy needs to get it together. There's a lot of pressure on him, but I think he'll get it together. But without McCaffrey, that team is not in the position they're in right now.
It's Flutie versus Stegall. We are powered by BODOG. The guys are neck and neck as we approach the month of December. Milt is 22-11 on the season against the spread. Doug is 20-13. This week, Milt likes Seattle to cover 9.5 at home against the Vikes. The Chargers to knock off the Raiders by at least 10. And for the Cardinals to upset the Buccaneers, they're a 3-point dog. And
I like all of Milt's picks now. That's I'm like, wait a minute. Those look like cake. Well, no, how'd you find it? It's like we have a limited schedule Sunday because we got a lot of Thursday games.
Yeah, no, Thursday and Friday. Yep.
And Milt found the dime. It's all right. I'm sticking with my boys. I'm going with all my favorites, and I'm riding it out. Go ahead.
Can I say one more? Can I just say one more thing? How about those Cowboys? I can't believe we didn't talk about the Cowboys.
They're off the mat. They got knocked down 3 times in the first round.
When you're down 21-0 and come back and beat a division opponent like that, what does that do for a locker room now? Both sides. Because you know how quickly Philly can combust. I don't know what's the bigger story here? Dallas winning or Philly imploding?
When I look at it, I think of it as Dak is very explosive offensively with the Cowboys. He's got a couple of big time receivers, CD and Pickens, and they're turning it loose. When he relaxes and just throws a ball and just starts playing, they're scary on offense. But as you're saying, Philly doesn't scare me. No, go ahead.
No, I'm with you. I was just listening to you. No, I agree with you. I say Philly is the best team in the NFL.
Okay.
Worst best team in the NFL. Yep. They could be a team that wins the Super Bowl, or they could be a team that loses a wild card game by 21 points. That's how inconsistent they are. So I agree with you. They don't scare me at all. Not one bit.
Well, the most inconsistent team along with Philly seems to be Buffalo. Doug likes them this week, -3.5 at Pittsburgh. He also likes the Patriots to cover Monday night, 7.5 against the Giants. The Colts to bounce back and cover 4.5 against the Texans. Milt, you're digging into some dessert and some stuffing and all the Thanksgiving treats. Doug, you'll be outside with the old guard tossing the football around, huh?
Yeah, we get the walkers and the canes out and shorten that field and narrow it down a little bit, and I got a chance.
I love it. Flutie versus Stegall, your Thanksgiving edition. We thank all of you for making this show one of North America's fastest growing football podcasts. I'm Arash Madani saying so long. We'll see you next week.